This is Android Basics, in which we bring you up to date on the things that you should know to use your Android phone.
And now we turn to our Spotlight section, and it's all about QPR. Yes, we focus on Queen's Park Rangers, that rather mediocre championship side from Shepherd's Bush in West London, which has had various TV documentaries made about it when the owner of Malaysian Airlines bought it for a little bit and tried to make them shoot to the big time. Oh no, wrong Wikipedia entry. That's not the QPR we're actually talking about. Let me just do better on Wikipedia here. Quarterly platform release. This looks more like it. The quarterly platform release, you'll be aware, or you may not be, is a feature drop that comes every quarter, and the latest quarterly platform release 2 for Android 13 dropped this month. And Warren, I'm going to hand over to you to talk about this. But before I do that, could you just tell us in a little bit more detail what the quarterly platform releases are, and will every Android phone get them, or is it purely a Pixel thing?
Thank you, Ed. So the QPR quarterly program releases is something that Google started back in 2019 with the introduction of the Pixel 4. And ever since, we've seen that. And mostly these things are usually for the Pixel phones, yet some things get trickled to other devices in the process. But most of the features are mainly found on the Pixel devices, those that qualify. And talking about which ones qualify, we're talking about anything from the Pixel 4a to the Pixel 7 Pro. Those are the qualifying Pixel phones. And then we'll talk about some of the features that have actually trickled down to some other devices, to non-Pixel devices. But so the QPR program begins, though, every December. And so the first one we had was in December. And then the second one we had is the one that just dropped on the 13th of this March. So that's QPR 2. The next one will be dropping in June, and the last one is in September. And in between those months, we have the betas. So if you noticed, is that we have had the QPR 2 beta up to like 3 betas for the QPR 2. And so this Monday release, the 13th of March release, makes it the final drop. And if you are not in the program, you'll get that as a security patch, part of the security patch, but it's usually bigger than your regular typical monthly security patch because it brings a lot of features to it. So if you're not in the beta, then you'll see that. But if you're in the beta, you see what is going to be coming in. For instance, if you were in the beta, you would have seen what the feature drop or the QPR 2 would be bringing when it's finalized. So that's what that is all about. And so you don't have to be in the beta, but if you want to, you can join that so you can have early access and have like basically a preview of what is coming when it becomes finalized.
Does that mean then, Warren, that for the QPR, when it drops to everyone, does that mean that month's security patch can be a little bit delayed from, say, the 1st or the 5th of the month if the QPR didn't drop till the 13th of March? Or would you essentially get 2 security patches?
It's important you mentioned that. Yes, that happens. And like, for example, this month, usually it happens like the first Monday of the month or whatever. And this month, though, it didn't come through till the 13th, and people were beginning to worry as to what was going on. And as I speak, for some reason, the Pixel 6 series did not get it. And so it's very interesting that the Pixel 6 didn't get it. And some people on the subreddit, the Google subreddit, saying it's going to be dropping in on the 20th. So, like, when is the 20th? Is that Monday? Or is that, I think that's Monday, right? Yeah. So, it didn't show up. So that is part of your security patch. But it's like I said, is always more than a security patch. And so when I pull out my Pixel 6, sure enough, it wasn't there. But then, funny enough, on the 15th, which we're going to be talking about, QPR3 beta, my Pixel 6 got that QPR3 beta 1 for some reason. And I went ahead and installed it anyway. So I'm going to see what will happen on Monday. If Google is going to say, hey, we made a mistake, and it's going to roll that back and send me the regular finalized QPR. But if you join the beta, that means your phone is perpetually in a beta. So if you don't like betas, then you don't have to enroll.
So someone who is running QPR2 beta 2, who was running it and had a Pixel with a 5G chip. That time Pixel was 5G compliant in India. But now if you are not running the beta and you got the QPR, then your phone is 5G compatible even if you are not running the beta. So for non-US bands of 5G, your devices are 5G compatible. So Pixel phones should be 5G compatible around the world.
Good news for Pixel owners worldwide. So let's have a look. One thing that's quite funny, just on the QPRs and my frivolous reference to the West London Football Club. Warren, you mentioned that quarterly platform releases for Android had debuted in 2019, which makes this the 4th year that they will have been in existence. And the TV documentary about the badly run West London Football Club was called The 4-Year Plan, if anyone wants to Google that. So we are at the same stage now in this particular QPR, the quarterly platform release, as we were with the other one when the documentary was made.
So Ed, if your thing is a 4-year plan, does that mean that thing in West London has come to an end, or is it still going to continue? And what name would it get?
So the West London 4-year plan was a little longer ago. They had an idea that QPR, this soccer club, could go from relative obscurity to basically conquering the world in 4 years. They got some rich owners. They got a steel magnate and the chief exec of Malaysian Airlines to buy them. And they decided that they were so confident that they would make a documentary about how all of this was going to work. And needless to say, it didn't work. It all went very badly wrong. And
so it flopped.
It flopped.
Okay.
Yeah, it flopped.
So it's even not even a Fisher Prize. It's worse than a Fisher Prize, right?
Oh yeah, this isn't Fisher Price. This is Alcatel.
Alcatel.
Yeah.
Does
Alcatel.
anyone have an Alcatel phone? I used to have one. Actually, maybe a couple of them. No, I'm serious. They were not bad phones, though. I don't know what happened to Alcatel.
They still exist. They still make phones.
One of my office people has the phone.
Yeah, they still exist.
They still exist, but I haven't seen them producing anything, though. Are they?
They go with TLC, you know. They work with TLC to produce smartphones.
Oh yeah, are they the TLC brand name?
TLC is quite popular in Turkey.
You are right. Yeah, so they're there. Alcatel, I remember that. Well, thanks for the update about your QPR there in West London, Ed.
But let's get back to a serious Android discussion and look at some of the new features. John, is there anything you're particularly excited about in this QPR release?
Well, the one thing that I kind of find interesting is that now when you set a timer on a Google Assistant device, so like a Google Home speaker, you'll be able to see the timer on your home screen in the at a glance section of your home screen. So, you know, that thing you can't remove from the Pixel launcher is becoming a little bit more useful. So that's definitely a good thing.
I particularly like that too, John, because if I set an alarm or a timer rather on my home thing in the kitchen and I'm out in the back. Now we're talking about summer is coming to shine and I'm out there in the back. I have my phone in my pocket or whatever. I'm going to get that notification that thing that I'm cooking there that I want to bring out there for the barbecue is done. So I kind of like that whole idea of having that being a cross device so that you are not tied to just one device. So why Google didn't think of this a long time ago, but at least I'm glad it's here now, and it's a very beautiful implementation. I like that idea.
And on that, do you know if you can? Well, this might have been fixed a while ago, but the last time I tried to get it, it wouldn't work. Can you set a voice timer with Google Assistant on your phone now, or do you have to go into a clock app and do it?
No, you can set a timer using your voice.
Yeah.
I set a timer with my voice all the time.
Because I remember when I tried to do that, admittedly not very recently, it just said it wasn't supported and it wouldn't do it.
Now, were you doing that on the cat for some
Oh
reason?
no, this is a
maybe?
while back, so it may well have been fixed in a previous thing
But
that dropped.
was that on the cat, or was that on?
No, before that.
Before the cat. Okay, nah. So yeah, it
possibly on a
works.
OnePlus phone. Yeah,
Okay.
oh good. No,
It
because that was
does work.
very annoying.
You should try it again and see what happens. It does work.
I will. I might try it right now, in fact. Okay, Google. Set a 1-minute timer. Yeah, seems to have done it. There we go. I'm glad that's
There you
fixed.
go. So that's good.
There we are.
Yeah. The next item, though, that is also part of this QPR, which is also called the feature drop, is the Health Connect. I think we talked about this earlier, most especially on our email group when Google announced this, and I know we talked about it. Now, it's part of this feature drop. So if you have a Pixel phone, this is going to be on your phone. And what does it mean when I talk about the Health Connect? So it's basically like a hub, which basically wants to be the hub for the connecting apps that, any app that has health sharing or whatever, they will be managed by this Health Connect app. So you don't have to install several other apps in order to be able to get their usefulness. So this is a good thing. And now it's part of this feature drop.
That's pretty cool, I think. And that's a good thing.
The next item, and I think this probably someone like Austin would be the one that would love this one. And you guys overseas, you use dual SIM, and that's the one we're talking about here. The third item is the dual eSIM for the Pixel 7 and Pixel 7 Pro. Now, they support that dual SIM. So if you have a SIM that is eSIM, but you have two providers, you can now have both of them active, and you can switch between them at will. And so it's nice to see that now has become part of this feature drop.
Is it supported on the Pixel 6a?
No, it's only for the Pixel 7 series. But, like I said, some of these things eventually trickle down to other devices, older devices. And so I don't see why it wouldn't be coming to the Pixel 6 series.
So what would happen then? Do you effectively choose whether one of your physical slots becomes an eSIM slot? Is that how that works?
No, so if you have a physical SIM in there, then it means you will have 3 SIMs in your phone because it has the capability of supporting 2 eSIMs. So if you have an additional physical SIM card in there, then you have 3. And I think that will be a win-win situation for people in countries that sometimes connectivity is not there on one provider at some place, and then you have to switch SIMs and things like that. And that's the reason why you notice that overseas, outside of the US, a lot of countries have phones that have double SIMs, and we don't have that here in the States. But we now have this eSIM. I could maybe go out and get something like some other burner stuff and see if I can play with it.
Will it keep all the 3 SIMs active or only 1 or 2? Because last time I switched to an eSIM, it told me only 1 SIM can be active at the same time, not both.
Well, so here's how the thing works, though, and the thing that Google implemented, and I think we talked about that here either on our podcast or on the email a little while ago, is that it will auto switch between, if it determines that one of them has better connectivity, then it will automatically switch for you. So you don't have to manually go switch to say, hey, I'm having a better connection with Verizon, so I'm going to switch to Verizon. Or if you're in the UK, say you have EE or Vodafone or something like that, you could say, hey, I want to switch to EE or something else. But this is intelligent enough to notice which one has a better connectivity and it'll switch on for you. But you can't have both active at the same time, in the sense that uh, when it comes to data, you can have both active at the same time. You'll have to choose which one it is, or if it determines which one is, stronger, then it'll switch to it. But if you have two and someone calls your other number on the other one, it should ring you.
So the last time I did that, I switched to an eSIM. Only one SIM was active, so only person could just call me on one number, and then I had to make the other one active if I wanted that one to be active. So they could not call me on both the numbers. Like if a person wants to call me on one carrier and the other person has a number of other carriers, so that one carrier will be shown as switched off. So that was the problem that was happening last time.
Okay, so maybe it's an Indian thing. Each country implements it differently, but I know, people who have dual SIM phones, if you call them on the non-active, non-data active number, as long as they have it in there, it should ring through. So that's how this thing is supposed to work.
Yeah, you always have a constant connection, not data connection, but text and calls on all the SIMs that are active in your phone. So and even if somebody calls you on either number, it should ring. Same with text messages. And when you go to make a call or send a text message, there's actually a little drop down where you can choose which number you're sending that message from before you hit send.
Yeah. And I think I might have even done a video telling you how you can configure that and change it back in the day. What's quite interesting about my Xiaomi is that it doesn't quite have the flexibility that having two eSIMs does on the Google thing, but it has one physical SIM slot, and then it lets you choose whether your second SIM is physical or E. So that there is a space for a second SIM card, but equally you can set that up as an eSIM if you want to, but then the second physical SIM won't work.
That's really interesting, but that's a nice implementation, though, because at least you can enable eSIM if you wanted to, if you have a service carrier that has eSIM capability.
Yeah, for sure. What else do we like in this QPR? Anyone got any other features they want to talk about?
So the next item that we have here would be the Direct My Call, something that came with the Pixel 6 or maybe Pixel 7. And the whole idea is that you are going to be able to know what the menus are. And I think we've talked about this earlier, but now it's coming to other devices as well, so that you don't have to wait to hear for the Fisher Price department, press 2. For the West London, whatever, press 5, things like that. You will see those right there on the screen, so you can just jump through to the one that you want instead of listening through all of those menus. And I think that's a very good feature, most especially when you call those businesses and they put you on hold or tell you, hey, first listen carefully to what we have, and all of that cuts down on that clutter.
I think that'll be really good efficiency-wise, won't it? A good addition that has trickled down to lower model Fisher Prices. I think that will help, because having to key in that sort of stuff is quite tedious and time-consuming. Have you tried to use it with TalkBack? Does it work well?
I tried it some time ago when I got my Pixel 7. Yeah, it did work for me. And the business, I think this is only like in the US for starters, though. I think so. I'm not sure on that, but I'm almost positive that's what it is.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. The next one is the night side, and the night side photography is now coming down also to the Pixel 6 series. So they're there, but it's now faster and better. And so if you have a Pixel 6 series, you're going to be getting this one as well. The next item that is down to every Pixel is the magic eraser. And this is something that was announced, a couple of weeks ago, but now is part of this feature drop. And the good news about this is that it's even available on your older Pixel devices, going down to as low as the Pixel 4a. And these, besides some other minor changes, and there are like 46 security patches or exploits that were patched alongside with this. So it's a big one. The last item, or one of the last major items that we have, will be the fall detection that came to the Pixel Watch and is also part of this feature drop. You can also set that fall detection either from your watch or from the watch app directly on your phone. And so it's a very important feature, isn't it, Austin, that fall detection?
Yeah, it is very important, especially when you drink too much and you fall down. It will detect that you've fallen and it will call your contacts, and they can come and pick you up.
Exactly. And so if you have a Pixel Watch, you could check that out, and that would be the last big feature besides all those minor ones that come in there.
And a pretty good set of features, I think, for you owners of such handsets. I hope that has been useful. And some things there, I think, definitely good. The timers, the Sims, and the direct call stuff might be of particular application, I think. So do check those out. See what you think.